Oh, let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we love to hate the movies. I'm your host, Jay Light. Joining me today, Jules Forde.
Hey, Jay. Glad to be here.
That was, your name has such a good amount of syllables.
Well, thank you.
It's a good showbiz name.
I can't take any credit for it. It's all my parents doing. But yeah, thanks.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you. This is continuing the burgeoning tradition now of having some folks that I work with at the Pack Theater here on the show.
Yeah.
Jules is a wonderful performer across many disciplines, improv, sketch, all sorts of fun stuff. And if you're in LA, come check out one of his shows.
Yeah. Is this the time to plug, or is that going to be later?
You can plug now if you want. Well, we usually plug at the end, but I brought it up.
Well, yeah. So I do a lot of stuff at the Pack. Mainly Mama Bird on Monday nights. Mama Bird Improv with Fussy. So yeah, come check it out.
Fun times. But you know what you shouldn't check out, according to Jules.
Oh yeah, but you probably have, because it's almost 22 years old now. Yeah,
it's a popular old one. And that's today's movie, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, or The Lost World.
It's Jurassic Park,
The Lost World. The Lost World.
Yeah,
it's really it's labeled very strangely on Wikipedia.
It is, yeah, and I don't think that naming the kind of reboot franchise Jurassic World has helped people.
No,
yeah, especially if you're not privy to the earlier movies and you're trying to go back.
Especially for the earlier one, they just go right. They don't even say, they don't call this Jurassic Park 2, which would make sense.
Right.
They go right to a completely different name. And then they do back to Jurassic Park 3.
Yep.
And then Jurassic World. And then was it Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Calling Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Yeah. So they say when they went back to Jurassic World 2, they did the same mistake. It's just gave it a title that has nothing to do with what the original was. So,
by the way, I don't know how many of my fans are counting at home, but this is now officially the most mentioned franchise in Blockbusting history.
Is it?
In about almost 150 episodes, you're the third person to bring up a Jurassic Park franchise movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, someone did Jurassic Park.
Yep, Eli Olsberg, and then
I hate that. I don't know that person, but I hate them. I can't trust their judgment. No.
But my buddy David James did Jurassic World.
Okay.
Now, before we really dive into this, what are your feelings on sort of the Jurassic Park franchise as a whole? Are you a fan of it? It sounds like you're a fan of at least the first movie.
I am. No, I love the first movie. It's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've I've spent way too much time in my life dedicated to things surrounding that movie. I went to Hawaii a couple years ago, and basically checked out as many of the filming sites that I could while I was there. Not like that's not the only reason that I went, but it was definitely like on the bucket list of like, oh, while I'm in Hawaii, I definitely have to check out the Jurassic Park sites.
Right? Yeah,
yeah.
That's the ahead of the game version of going to New Zealand to go check out The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings filming sites.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of the overall franchise, I love the first one, and full disclosure, I do actually kind of love the movie that we're going to be talking about today.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
We're less than 5 minutes in.
And I've already ruined it. No, so it's the kind of thing where I loved the shit out of it when I was a kid, when it came out
Okay.
in 97. It was the first movie that I'd ever seen like a midnight movie of, like opening night.
Oh,
They had they had the midnight showing the day before, so I was like, oh, it's so cool.
That's a good experience to have.
Yeah, and I loved it, as a kid. But
I wish I could remember what the first midnight movie I ever saw was. I think it was something dumb. I don't think it was something that would have been fun to see as a kid like this. I think it was like, God, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, maybe.
Oof. Oh wow,
That's the first one that comes to mind. I fell asleep during it. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, the falling asleep definitely makes sense. I can't understand the mindset of, after watching the first Fantastic Four, be like, I have to see the very first showing of Fantastic Four,
the way,
Silver Surfer.
Also had not seen the original Fantastic Four. I went because all of my friends were going, and I was like,
okay,
I'm going to stay up late.
Okay, that makes sense.
I was a real lame child. So once I started being able to go out late and drive, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take every chance I get.
I understand. I come from a hometown where like the two most popular things to do when you're a teenager and not old enough to like drink but old enough to drive are go to Walmart or to go to the movies.
Yep.
So
yeah, we had that. You go to the Whataburger, you go to Taco Bueno, you go to the movies.
Yep.
Anyway, so you see this movie at midnight, and you love it.
I do, and I still very much enjoy watching it, but I'm a lot more critical of it.
That's fair,
and not even just like on a kind of entirely like film analytical perspective, but just on like, this scene was really mean. This was a dumb scene to do. So yeah, it's not even like from a pretentious standpoint.
How many times have you seen this movie? Would you, if we had to ballpark it?
This one, probably maybe like 40 times.
God damn, that's a lot of times.
Maybe less than that. I don't know.
I don't think I've seen him. I mean, even movies that I love, I don't think I've seen a movie that I love more than 7 or 8 times.
Well, it's the kind of thing where I've put it on in the background a bunch of times.
Oh, okay.
Like, especially if I'm like working on a project, a lot of times I'll put the first one on and then still be working on the project and like, oh, fuck it. I'll put 2 on.
Why not?
Yeah.
See, and okay, so this was my first time watching The Lost World.
Really?
Uh-huh.
For this?
For this.
Wow. Okay.
And my Jurassic Park franchise knowledge is very tied to this podcast. Prior to starting the show, I had only seen the last 20 minutes of Jurassic Park.
Oh, wow.
I'd seen from, the kids running away from the velociraptors in the kitchen and the T-Rex coming in and eating it. And that was pretty much it. That was all I had seen. Because that was what showed up on like TNT someday when I was in college.
Gotcha.
So I watched Jurassic World first. No, I watched Jurassic Park and then Jurassic World. Because that was what my friend David mandated I do before we record.
That makes sense, yeah.
And I love Jurassic Park. Even after doing this episode with Eli, I still love Jurassic Park. I think it stands the test of time as like a good, solid blockbuster, a fun movie, a quote unquote fun time in the movies.
Yeah.
And Jurassic World obviously like misses the mark. It's not a terrible movie. It's just fine. Mm-hmm. And I felt very similar to that watching this movie, but there's something about it that just seemed kind of off.
Sure.
Compared to the original Jurassic Park and even to Jurassic World. This is based on Michael Crichton's novel that he wrote as a reaction to people saying, "Oh, Jurassic Park, the movie's great. We need a sequel." So he wrote a novel and then they made a movie based on that, and it came out in 1997.
Mm-hmm. Loosely based.
Very loosely based. Yeah. I didn't even realize how loose it was based until I read through and I was like, oh, there are characters who died in the original novel that are still kicking in this.
Yep.
So it's got, it's in 1997, if you need a little refresher course, it takes place 4 years after the events of the original film. In that timeline, also, good job. John Hammond sends a team led by Dr. Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum, returning as the chaos theorist and eccentric mathematician. He sends a team to Isla Sorna, the second island InGen used to make dinosaurs, to study the animals, while coming into a conflict with another team led by InGen to bring some of the dinosaurs back onto the mainland. And it got mixed reviews from critics.
Mm-hmm.
It was a huge box office success. It won. It got the second highest grossing film in 1997.
It won a bunch of MTV Movie Awards, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so. I'm probably. Let's check out the accolades.
It was nominated for one Oscar, which is probably visual effects or
100%
or sound design or something.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Actually, only nominated for one MTV Movie Award.
Wow.
Best
okay.
action sequence from when the T-Rex attacked San Diego.
97 was a good year for action movies.
97, yeah.
Wait, I may be thinking of 96.
But
anyway.
It also got nominated for 4 Razzie Awards.
Really?
Yeah. It got nominated. Sorry, just 3. It got nominated for Worst Remake or Sequel, Worst Screenplay, and my favorite, Worst Reckless Disregard for Human Life and Public Property, which it was nominated for but did not win. It still did not win that award.
That's pretty impressive. Does it say what?
I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see what it says.
What
actually,
beat it out that year?
That one. Here, I'll tell you the other nominees, and then I'll tell you the winner. And maybe you'll be able to guess if you know what other good action movies came out in 1997.
I think I know, but it wasn't a good action movie.
Okay, there's Volcano, there's Turbulence, and Batman and Robin.
Wow, Godzilla. Well, no, Godzilla was later.
Yeah, Godzilla was the year after. So the absolute winner for Worst Reckless Disregard for Human Life and Public Property goes to Con Air.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I love Con Air.
I know, and you said it was going to be a bad action movie. Nah, Con Air is brilliant.
Well, because I was thinking it was Godzilla. That's why.
That's fair.
No. Con Air is a great movie.
So you've changed your tune a little bit on The Lost World since you've initially seen it.
Yeah.
To you, what has changed the most? What is your interpretation of it now? With hindsight and growth and tastes that have changed a little bit.
So I think it's my reaction is more so a reaction of it as a sequel to Jurassic Park, because it doesn't convey any of the themes that kind of Jurassic Park had laid down. It goes straight into being an action movie, which it's fine, and it does its action sequences pretty well.
Right.
But as far as being a good sequel to what was laid down in Jurassic Park, it fails. It fails pretty miserably.
Right. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
You can tell the parts where they tried to shoehorn in some of the heart that is in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that the original has going for it is this great sense of wonder and awe. It's, when you see the dinosaurs for the first time and you have kids who you actually care about and other characters who you actually care about just throughout. And instead of following any of the people who you actually care about and not just the Quip Machine, you gave the movie to the Quip Machine and then made him serious and not the quirky fun guy.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head. I think I rewatched it this morning just to make sure I had notes ready to go. And I think in the first scene of the movie with the family on the island and the little girl and the compies when she gets attacked, that does a really good job of capturing it, that sense of wonder turning into a sense of terror, which is kind of what Jurassic Park was about.
Right?
It's don't treat these things that seem wonderful as just objects that we can handle however we want. They're living creatures who are gonna have their own agenda.
Which in turn becomes the most major plot point of the movie, where Ian Malcolm knows how terrifying and disastrous the consequences of Hammond's nephew bringing dinosaurs to the San Diego Zoo of dinosaurs will be. And the whole time they're just free. He's just like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
But it feels like this movie's trying to be too many different movies. That was a thing that I definitely felt watching it.
Yeah, I could see that. Because like I was saying, it kind of tries to just be the like straight on actioner.
Yeah.
But then it's like it also has like these kind of goofy B-movie moments.
And they're too goofy.
Yeah, like the scene where the Jack Horner replica character, I forget, Robert Burke.
Yes.
The scientist guy who's like naming all the dinosaurs and stuff.
Right.
Like his death scene is just like a snake crawling into him and then getting bitten by or like grabbed by the T-Rex by a waterfall, and you hear this like super cheesy noise and then
a blood fountain.
It's just like that's not at all how that would work. But it's just so goofy and silly at some points, which I think isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely detracts from like how they were able to use the danger of the dinosaurs in the first movie.
Well, I know. I definitely agree with that. That was one of the things that bugged me most, which pains me to think about and say, because I know that in a movie that is dramatic or not even necessarily like a drama, but a movie like Jurassic Park, where it's an action movie and a big blockbuster, you need to have moments of humor to cut through the stuff that's all the action and shit that you're doing the whole time.
Yeah.
But it has to not be cheesy. It has to fit in with the vibe. And I remember one of the distinctive lines for me that really threw me for a loop as far as like how did this line get into the script is when they're all hanging off the rope just after the truck has fallen, and they, by the way, completely unharmed all three of Vince Vaughn, Julianne Moore,
so convenient,
and Jeff Goldblum. A truck that was in two pieces and easily could have hurt them. Oh wait, no, so good. All the windows are blown out, and they were all totally cool at hanging on to this rope just in time.
And all the stuff inside the truck too. Yeah,
and then. And then the guy is like, do you guys need anything? And then Jeff Goldblum goes, a double cheeseburger for all of us. And then they all start saying their orders. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
This is not a time for a bit, guys.
And it's right in the middle of like an impressive John Williams action orchestral music theme. And I'm just like, God, no. Who decided this was a good idea?
Yeah.
It seems like there were too many times when they were actually, instead of capturing the magic of Jurassic Park and other movies in that vein where you just watch it and you're like, and you just kind of get taken away. It was like they saw that, and there's probably a lot of people to blame for this.
Sure, yeah.
But they saw that and were like, all right, we sure can do it again, can't we? And they brought back Steven Spielberg's back again. And
sure.
Crichton's writing the novel, and then they get David Koepp.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just didn't work. It just something about it just felt like they threw out what they were like. They phoned it in. That's what it really felt like. It's like they didn't. They did not attempt to do their best work.
Yeah.
They were like, you know what? We can phone this in and nobody will be the wiser.
Yeah, that's and with other Jurassic Park aficionados that I've talked to, that seems to be like the general consensus is that like, Spielberg was like, all right, you could tell he wanted to do it, but at the same time, I don't know if he was maybe preoccupied or what the case is, but like, it just seems, it seems like the effort isn't isn't
Right.
there, and the care and the attention isn't there
Which
like it
is-
was in the earlier ones.
I want to hear more about, actually, before we dive further into this, tell me about some Jurassic Park aficionados who you've talked to, because I did not even realize that this was like a community and a fandom until you came into the podcast realm with me today.
It's not. It's
Well, I mean,
really
there's
just
enough that people who have Jeeps of the Jurassic Park Jeep.
Oh, there are. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. So when I say that, I'm really just thinking of a small group of my friends, like Hunter, Hunter Altman, Ethan, who's on Night Church, Ethan Stanislavski.
Yep.
And then just like Jurassic Park always seems like the type of movie that has connected with so many people that, like, I personally can. That's an easy way for me to make a connection with somebody. So like,
Right.
So it instantly becomes a topic of conversation and an easy thing to bond with somebody about. So I don't know. That didn't answer your question at all.
Nah, but you know what? It does lead in well to my next question.
Okay.
Which is,
Mhm.
what do you think about Spielberg as a director, sort of in general?
I'm a big fan.
Okay.
I think he like some of his latest films have not done quite as well.
Yeah, I thought you might. That was a very political sigh you just took. It was very like,
I mean
that.
So like The Post was really good. I wasn't a huge fan of Ready Player One, but I also hated that book. That book was so dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ready Player One was fine. It was like, cool, I get it.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
I just like I just couldn't stand it. I know this is a common critique, but like just the complete explain every single pop culture reference as if nobody's ever heard of it. Like, this is Star Wars. It was a movie that was made in 1977 by George Lucas. It talks about this young kid on a desert planet who wants to fight in the rebel rebellion against the Galactic Empire. And it's like, we fucking know it's Star Wars.
Pac-Man is? It's a game about a mouth that eats stuff, and sometimes that stuff, it's ghosts. This movie, so here's what I'll say about Steven Spielberg. I have some Spielberg movies that I really love.
Sure.
And in general, I still, there's a lot of Spielberg I still have to see. He's one of the directors whose work...
He's got a big body of work.
He's got a big body of work, and I haven't seen a ton of it.
Sure.
Some of the stuff I've seen I really liked. Some of the stuff I've seen, I thought, wow, this guy sure knows how to spend a lot of money while phoning something in.
Which I'm assuming Jurassic World is, or not Jurassic World. Lost World is one of those.
Lost World is absolutely one of them.
Okay. And what are some other ones?
Well, Ready Player One for sure.
Yeah.
Because Ready Player One is just it's real pretty garbage.
Yeah,
it falls into sort of the Interstellar role, and Interstellar's actively a worse movie, I think, than Ready Player One is, because at least Ready Player One's not trying to put all this bullshit philosophy in there that Interstellar tries to do.
It's a fun, stupid movie, yeah.
Right. But here, let me just look up Steven Spielberg filmography. So you've got stuff that's like War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
War of the Worlds is below average. Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, yeah.
The man sure knows how to spend a lot of money on the way to making a movie that is fine to bad. And that's what he does with The Lost World, because he's an automatic director. Like, he's never not going to work.
Yeah. And
so when he gets hired, you kind of know what you're going to get. Because he's just going to show up with his cool little hat and his cool little safari vest, like what Vince Vaughn had in this movie.
Yeah.
By the way, really all over the place with the casting choices in this movie.
Yeah. It seems like Spielberg does that a lot, though. Like, he's just like, this is the person who's hot right now. I'm gonna throw him into my movie, because like Vince Vaughn had just
He just done
come off
Swingers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I was reading about that, how he saw Swingers and was like, I want to get this guy in my movie.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah.
But this movie, for me at least,
Mhm.
like I said, it's trying to be too much movie. It's trying to do all this action stuff and trying to have all of these funny quips and it's trying to have like 3 different messages.
Yeah.
And it's just too much. It's not as simple as Jurassic Park was.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park's the whole plot line was so simple. People go to an island where there are dinosaurs. Turns out we cut some corners when we were making the dinosaurs. Now the dinosaurs are going to fuck us all up. This is why you shouldn't play God.
Yeah.
In this movie, it's like, well, don't play God, but also don't hunt. But also, family is important. Oh, but also sometimes don't listen to your family. It's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah. You're exactly right. There's no like concise way to describe what that movie is.
The Lost World, Jurassic Park. A movie where a man gets eaten in half. He gets ripped in half by 2 T-Rexes on screen
for doing the right thing.
He did.
That's actually So that is actually what prompted me to reach out to you about this. So
whole sequence.
Yeah. Little inside baseball.
Hit me with it.
So yeah, no, I'd been following your podcast for a while, and like. I was like, oh, this is something I'd really like to do because I love talking about movies, but I don't usually really hate movies. Mm-hmm. Like I usually try and find some kind of benefit out of it, even if it's something that's really stupid or something that is just like so poorly made. I still think like, oh, that like provided a lot of jobs for people and like put a lot of food on the plates of like grips and editors and shit like that. So like it had some benefit. I try to be as optimistic about it as possible.
Right. Yeah. Think about all the dudes who made money helping to make rain happen for this movie.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job, special effects team.
But so yeah, I don't hate a lot of movies. But then I was watching Jurassic Park The Lost World for the 39th probably time. And I was watching that scene, and I'm a big fan of The West Wing. Which Richard Schiff, who plays Eddie Carr, the guy that gets eaten in half.
Oh yeah.
He's one of the main characters on The West Wing, and
what kind of person does he play on The West Wing?
He plays Toby. I was about to say Toby Maguire. Why can't I think of his name now?
He's real deep cover. I love. That's what happens. That's why the 7th season of The West Wing, he leaves the White House to become your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
You're not that far off. He actually does leave in the 7th season.
Oh my God.
And by leave, I mean he gets fired for. Anyway, it's not important why he gets fired. But anyway, so on The West Wing, he plays this character. He's very gruff. He's really smart. He's really witty. He's the communications director for the White House. So he's the guy that's in charge of creating the president's message to the public.
A J. Jonah Jameson of the White House, if you will. Who hates Spider-Man.
Toby hates Spider-Man. That's part of the West Wing canon now.
Okay, so he's a communications director.
Yeah. So he's gruff, but also like very relatable and easy to identify with. Mm-hmm. And I think it had been a while since I'd watched The Lost World. Like I knew the death was coming, but I forgot like how many layers of like him saving the people goes into his death.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, he has to save him this way. He has to save him this way. He has to save him this way. And it's like, it's just so much sacrifice. And then in the end, he's basically a joke. Like it's a joke death.
Yeah. It's and that's the thing is the only reason it feels dramatic is because John Williams, the motherfucking champion, has this very dramatic like edge of your seat kind of score playing underneath this whole sequence.
Yeah.
If You would put yakety sax underneath that. It would be viewed. You could view that in a totally different way. That's like some Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin level.
Yeah.
Oh no, the rope came undone from the tree.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which it's funny because like that was almost a, I don't want to say beat for beat, but like it mimics Dennis Nedry's scene in Jurassic Park, the first one, like where he's going to like try and get the thing attached to the tree. So like not only is it does it kind of lack the drama, but it's also ripping off its own source material.
It rips itself off. Yeah. I will say this. I mean, I as much as I didn't like watching this movie, the action sequences are solid.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The writing is fucking garbage. Most of the characters are trash.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame that they made Jeff Goldblum's character, who is so wonderful and delightful to watch, just so boring in this movie.
Yeah.
The only person who I think does a good job and is compelling, and I would actually really wish that it would have been more about him, is our boy Roland Tembo.
Yeah.
Big game hunter.
Yeah. Pete
Postlewaite, R.I.P.
Yeah.
He's fucking amazing in this movie.
He has so many good lines too. The like, I believe I've spent enough time in the company of death line.
Yes.
Like, his final line of the movie is just like, damn, that's too good for this movie.
I know. It's same thing with when they are driving around the first time with he's driving with Hammond's nephew, and Hammond's like, well, let's just go right here. And he's like, we're in a game. If you want to, do you want to be a campsite or a buffet? And then it just cuts.
Yeah.
And there's just so many. He has the best lines of the whole movie, and he's delivering it with all his fucking gusto that he can, because he's a pro capital P actor.
Yeah.
So good. And he elevates this movie by just enough to make it just like not a bad movie, but still a pretty bad movie.
Yeah.
He adds the pretty on top of that.
Yeah, no. Like every scene that he's in is like compelling and so grounded and just like makes the movie better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Do you smell spinoff with him?
If he were alive.
Yes. Well, he could have someone to be his kid or something.
Yeah. I feel like they've fucked up the IP so much at this point. I don't know.
Let me ask you this. So you're a diehard Jurassic Park fan.
Yeah.
You love the original.
Yeah.
And you don't like what's been done to the franchise as it's gone on. A lot of diminishing returns based on everything that I have learned from you over the course of doing this episode.
That's exactly correct. So
let me ask you this. In your mind, what if you were in charge of writing Jurassic Park's sequels, what happens in them? What's your dream sequel as a big gigantic Jurassic Park fan?
See, it's so hard to say right now. Quite honestly, if you'd asked me this before Fallen Kingdom had come out, I may have had a better answer for you, because that movie, like, it's kind of sad to admit it in this way, but like that movie crushed me, my appreciation of the franchise. Like that's how much I hated that movie.
Yikes!
It's so bad. Such a stupid bad movie.
What's bad about that one? I still haven't seen it. I avoided it actively.
So it's probably the best directed movie of a terrible script, is the way me and another Jurassic Park aficionado like to describe it. I'm just going to keep dropping that term.
JPA.
Yeah, JPAs. So it's a very like beautifully shot movie that just has like no purpose at all. To kind of give the plot away, I've blocked a lot of it out, quite honestly. Is so they decide, oh, there's this giant volcano underneath the island where like the accident from Jurassic World has happened. So nobody's there. It's just dinosaurs. But so they're like, oh, we're going to go back and save all the dinosaurs. So it's kind of the similar plot.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of the same plot again.
It is. Yeah, it is very similar, but so much worse. Like there's even the whole like the young person in InGen is trying to take over. Richard Attenborough passed away. I don't remember what year, but he passed away a few years ago. So obviously they couldn't bring him back for the Jurassic World movies. Mm-hmm. So they got oh God, what's his name? The guy from Babe. And LA Confidential. Oh God. Why can't I think of his name?
Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. We're gonna solve this. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Oh no. My Wikipedia just crashed on me because it does not want me to look up any information about this movie.
That makes sense.
No, I got it. All right, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, starring as let's look through the evil guys. Rafe Spall?
No.
Justice Smith?
No.
James Cromwell?
James Cromwell, that's what it is.
There we go.
I knew it was James C. something.
I should have gone to, the guy who said sir, who has sir as part of his character's name. I'm like, this is our guy.
So basically they kind of, for that movie, they kind of retconned stuff and made James Cromwell's character like John Hammond's business partner that nobody's ever heard of in any iteration of the series before at all. He's not in any of the books.
What a retcon.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, oh, they were best friends up until like right before John Hammond made dinosaurs or something like that. I forget. I was so pissed off at the way that they handled it. So yeah, they even have that as like a subplot of the movie, is that this young upshot is trying to usurp the old man from the company and profit off the dinosaurs.
Man,
which is exactly
such a shame.
Same plot from
what a fucking
Lost
rehash.
World. Yeah.
So all right, well, let's wipe out all of the history of Jurassic Park.
Okay.
As far as you and I are concerned, from now on, Jurassic Park is the one true movie.
Okay.
And if someone drops the Lost World script into your lap as it stands now, what do you change?
I add Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler. I'd have to think about like what their actual story arc would be. But like that's, in my opinion, as both an 11-year-old watching this at midnight and as a 33-year-old like talking about it now, that's the key thing that's missing, is like you focus. Malcolm isn't the protagonist of Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. He's a secondary character.
Right.
Alan Grant's the protagonist. So like,
undeniably.
You would think in the sequel, he would at least somewhat be featured in the movie in some capacity.
Right.
But no, not at all.
Not even mentioned.
Yeah.
Doesn't even show up again until Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
What a fucking disaster. But hey, we can always dream.
It's true. Yeah. And movies, like life, find a way. I don't know what that means.
I think I know what it means. It means that we should wrap this podcast up.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't even like get to barely any of the things in my notes.
Oh man,
I took so many notes.
Is there anything before? Is there any one little thing before we go that you want to bring up?
Oh god.
Quick hit of a thing that's worth mentioning is something you hate about this movie. Besides the general just way it makes you feel and the heart hurt that it causes deep inside of you.
That's not quick enough. But Lex and Tim should be in it too. I was so pissed off as a kid because I connected with those kids so much.
Yeah.
In the first movie, and then they just have that one scene.
Well, that's quite a document.
I told you I
JPA not fucking around. I want to see some of these.
Okay. So what? This is just a random note, but like, there's a scene where Dr. Hammond's trying to talk Ian Malcolm into like joining the team and helping rescue the dinosaurs or whatever. And then he realizes that his girlfriend is on the island, and John Hammond's just trying to be like, "Oh, I'll leave it to you to know people, to have liaisons," which is like the John Hammond way of saying, why do you have to fuck the smartest people, Ian Malcolm? Like, why do you just like
Ian Malcolm? Hey, he's a sexy chaos theorist, man.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. You fuck a chaos theorist and they're like, hey, this doesn't mean anything in the end, so you might as well just go for it.
Yeah.
He's definitely Ian Malcolm if he were around now, which according to Jurassic Park World Fallen Kingdom,
he unfortunately is.
And he's probably watching a lot of I Fucking Love Science YouTube videos. He's probably in charge of that whole channel. Jules, hey, thank you for helping me continue to watch more of the Jurassic Park franchise, even though the returns are very diminishing.
Yeah, of course. Always happy to help.
If people want to check you out, of course, you mentioned Pack Theater. They can see every Monday. Where can anyone follow you on social media if they want to see some of that?
Ooh, I keep my personal social media like kind of my own thing, but you can check out Duck Boy Sketch Comedy.
Yes,
we got those.
Very good.
Mama Bird Improv again, and
with other one of the cast members of Mama Bird. By the way, we've had him on the podcast too.
Rabinowitz.
Yep.
Yeah. What did he hate?
He hated. What did he hate? It was a good episode too. Oh my god!
Yeah. Oscar winner
right before he won the Oscar. I think it was like I think that episode came out the day like 2 days before the Oscars did.
Oh, nice.
Oh man, hold on. This is a controversial one, so I'm going to look it up.
I remember seeing it, but I don't remember what it is now. Because I think I even talked to him about it.
It was Animal House.
Yes, that's right. No, because I remember I did listen to the show. And then I talked to him about it afterwards because I love Animal House. But then, like, as I was listening to the critiques, I was like, he's making some good points.
That was exactly how I felt. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, God, again.
Yeah.
You got me again.
That's why he's got an Oscar.
Yeah, and that's why.
Yeah.
Well, go follow those things. Duck Boy is great sketches, and Mama Bird's a wonderful improv team, and go see them and watch their things. You can follow me at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram, jlightcomedy.com for show dates. If you are in Scotland for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, I'm going to be there too, starting Thursday. Holy shit. This episode's coming out Mondays. It's going to be like 3 days from now.
What's the name of that show?
It's called Fake It Till You Make It.
Okay.
It is at the Place Hotel every night, 11:45 p.m. It's going to be a fun time. Me doing a good, fun hour of stand-up about all of the things that I used to be and all the darkness that's deep inside this sweet, sweet face.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's it. If you like the show, join the Blockbusting Facebook group, leave a review, tell a friend. I love you. I love talking about movies, especially with you. Thanks, Jules.
Yeah, man.
This has been Blockbusting. Go see something good for a change.